It's Mickey, and in today's video we are in the kitchen where I'm going to be sharing with you my family's famous lasagna recipe. Now, lasagna is one of those dishes that you can serve at every holiday, every family celebration, or just a regular Sunday. This recipe is so delicious. It freezes well, it travels well, and I know it's going to become one of your family favorites. So if you are new here, I hope you'll take a minute to subscribe. I put out new videos every week about all things home. Knowing how to make a good lasagna is just one of those recipes you have to have in your arsenal. Lasagna feeds a lot of people, it's fairly simple to make, and it's fancy enough for any holiday or family celebration. I learned to make lasagna from my mom, who did everything from scratch, from the tomato sauce to the pasta. Today I'm sharing with you her adapted original recipe for the easiest, most delicious lasagna you will ever make. One of the most important secrets to a good lasagna is a good sauce. Making your own homemade sauce does not take as much time as you may think. If you do use a jar sauce, be sure that it is of good quality and be sure to use more than your recipe calls for. Today I'm going to be sharing the tomato sauce recipe that I use for our lasagna. This recipe is full of veggies and has the best fresh flavor. This sauce is ready to use in about 30 minutes. And you will have enough sauce not only for your lasagna, but to keep in your freezer to use for many future meals. I've gathered together here some of the things that we are going to be using for our sauce today. I don't have any of the seasonings that we're going to be using out just yet. We're going to talk about all that when we are actually making our sauce. I like to add vegetables to my lasagna sauce because I really do think that it adds such a fresh flavor, and you know, it's just always good to sneak a few extra vegetables, you know, wherever you can. So today we're going to be using about a half of this medium-sized zucchini, about 3/4 of this green bell pepper, and about 1/4 of a medium-sized onion, and of course several cloves of garlic. Now for the sauce itself, it's a combination of several tomato products. So you're going to get a can of tomato puree, a can of tomato sauce. Now these are the 29-ounce cans, so they are the larger of the ones that you'll see on the shelf. I really do love Colavita crushed tomatoes. I think they have such an authentic, delicious flavor. So I like to use about a 12-ounce carton of these. I put them through my little Cuisinart and puree them a little bit to go directly into the sauce. So for the lasagna itself, I like to use the Barilla Oven Ready lasagna noodles. When my mom made lasagna, she would make homemade pasta lasagna noodles that were more like sheets. And this Barilla product is the closest I have found to my mom's homemade pasta sheets. They also kind of speed up the whole process a little bit because you don't have to boil these at all before you assemble your lasagna. But if you are more comfortable using the boiled kind, feel free to substitute them in this recipe. So you also need a large container of whole milk ricotta cheese. Now I know a lot of people like to use cottage cheese in their lasagna, but there is truly no substitute for ricotta cheese. It just gives a more authentic flavor. You'll also need some grated Romano cheese and some shredded mozzarella and provolone cheese. Now, of course, freshly grated and shredded cheese is so much better to use, but for the sake of today's video, we are going to be using some packaged cheese. So to get started on our sauce, we're going to take our veggies and chop them up into small pieces. In a small Cuisinart or any food processor, you're going to puree these vegetables until they have like a medium pureed texture. I like to puree the vegetables for the sauce because I find that the flavors really do melt into the sauce in a different way than if I just chopped them up and sauteed them. I just add the pureed vegetables to a bowl until I have everything ready to go. In a saucepan over medium heat, I have melted 1 tablespoon of butter and about 1 tablespoon of olive oil. To this, I'm just going to add our pureed vegetables and I'm going to saute these until they are translucent and soft. Once the vegetables are soft, I'm going to add about a half a cup of white wine. This is completely optional. You can leave this out entirely. The wine does add just another layer of flavor to your sauce. You just want to cook it until the alcohol burns off, and then we are going to add our tomato products. Here we are adding our tomato puree and our tomato sauce and about a full can of water. You want to be sure that you get all that tomato goodness into your pot, and then you're going to take your crushed tomatoes, add them to your Cuisinart to puree just a little bit, and then you're going to add these to your sauce as well. Then you're going to give everything a little bit of time to heat all the way through. So here's the deal with seasonings. I think that everybody has their own idea of what a well-seasoned dish tastes like. I know that I can be a little heavy-handed, so my best advice to you is to go at your own pace and you just season until your ancestors tell you to stop. I'm going to leave a list of seasonings in the description and in the recipe, and you can subtract or add additional seasonings however you see fit. My biggest suggestion is just to go slow because you can always add a little bit more, but it's hard to take it out. There are definitely some seasonings you do not want to leave out, and those are garlic powder, red pepper flakes, basil, oregano, and a little bit of sugar to help cut the bitterness that can sometimes be found in any tomato sauce. While our sauce is cooking away, I have everything set up here for our lasagna assembly line. I have the ricotta cheese, I have some fresh chopped parsley, I have an egg, some mozzarella and provolone, and some grated Romano cheese. I also have my favorite lasagna dish here. Now, the perfect lasagna dish is one that is about 9 by 13 long and is very deep because you're going to have several layers of sauce and cheese and noodles, and you don't want anything spilling over into your oven. Now, I also have a separate bowl here to mix up our ricotta cheese. To the small bowl, you're going to add the entire container of ricotta cheese, your fresh chopped parsley, some garlic powder, salt and pepper. I like to add some red pepper flakes and basil, and then a really good handful of grated Romano cheese. And then add 1 egg, mix until everything is well combined. So I have the assembly line all set up here. I have my sauce, my ricotta mixture, some grated Romano cheese, the mozzarella and provolone, my noodles, and my lasagna dish that you're going to want to spray with some non-stick cooking spray. So we finally get to the fun part. We're going to start by putting about a cup of sauce in the bottom of our pan, swirl it around a little bit so it completely covers the bottom. The secret to using these oven-ready lasagna noodles is to be sure that you use a little extra sauce because they do absorb quite a bit when they're cooking. Then add about 3 noodles to the bottom of your pan, add a little bit more sauce, and then half to a third of your ricotta mixture, depending on how many layers that you're going to want to do. Spread the ricotta out as best as you can, and then add a layer of shredded cheese. Repeat the layers, ending with noodles, sauce, and shredded cheese. I usually end up using about 1.5 bags of shredded mozzarella and provolone cheese. I also like to top it all off with a couple handfuls of grated Romano, and then over the top I add a sprinkle of parsley. Now we're going to cover this all with aluminum foil and bake in a 375-degree oven for about 35 to 40 minutes. You can also uncover the lasagna the last few minutes and put it under the broiler to brown the top. Personally, I'm in the camp of leaving it covered for the entire baking period. I just pulled our lasagna out of the oven and it looks and smells so delicious. I'm going to keep it covered here on the stovetop for about 15 or 20 minutes. You really want everything to cool off and settle a little bit before you cut into it. I always serve our lasagna with a side salad and some type of garlic bread or roll. It is just one of my most favorite meals of all time. Lasagna reheats really well, and it's probably even better the next day. If you were going to be taking this dish to a get-together, my suggestion is that you assemble everything at home, cover it with tin foil, and then when you get to your destination, bake it off in the oven there. This really does travel so well, and it's always one of the most welcome dishes at any potluck. So that's going to do it for me today. This video was a result of so many requests for my lasagna recipe, and I couldn't believe I had never shared it with you all before. If you like this type of video, be sure to leave me a comment down below and let me know what other recipes you would like to see in this format. Please join our communities over on Facebook and Instagram at My Bashful Life, and please don't forget to subscribe. I would love to have you all back as part of our YouTube family. So until I see you in that next video, I hope that you love the life that you have. Be kind to each other, stay safe, and I will see you again soon. Bye.